Did y'all see the title of this video? Like, seriously, this is not a joke. This is not a clickbait. This is seriously what happened to me and what I teased in the last video where I talked about spiritual isolation and frequency gaslighting. And literally, after I did the things that I told y'all about, and I was in a state of gratitude and a state of understanding that everything happens for a reason and that everything is working out for me, I was struggling and I had $5.70 in my bank account. No joke, no savings. If you've read my bio, you see that I am a jobless, fake retired. When I say fake retired, I was a salon owner for 25 years. I did natural hair. And I decided that I was going to retire. But when I decided to retire, I did not have a retirement plan. I did not have any savings saved up. I really just went out on a whim because it's what I felt led to do by God. And I feel like it was what I was called to do. And the way that I live my life is sometimes like, I don't even know the word, interesting to say the least. And also, I've been told that I'm very brave for the way that I live my life. Sometimes it's scary, but at the same time, when things like this happen, it lets me know that I'm definitely on the right path, and that while other people are working harder, I'm not just working smarter, I am working in a space of ease as much as possible. As I said in the last video, it's not like this is always an easy thing. It's not like things always work out in the way that I think they should work out, but they always work out for me. So here's how the story goes. As I mentioned earlier, I had $5.70 in my account, and I had lots of things that I had to pay for, lots of things that I needed to do. And at first I was in a state of being overwhelmed. And then I had to remind myself, like, it always works out for you. Money always shows up. Things always come to you in the most miraculous and amazing way. But let's get to the really important part of this puzzle, piece of this puzzle. People always want to know, like, how do you make money? Just because you're jobless doesn't mean you don't have a way to make money. So for me, for a while, I was an Uber driver. I was spiritually led to stop driving Uber, and then I didn't know what I was going to do. And so through a series of events, one of my girlfriends called me, same scenario, randomly she called me and said, hey, I have someone that would like for you to do a wellness workshop for them. Is this something you would be interested in? I was like, absolutely. It's everything I love. I love to teach wellness. I love to talk about mental health, well-being, because of the fact that I was once depressed and suicidal, so it was right up my alley. And not only did I get to do what I wanted to do, but it was going to allow me to have some money flowing in. And I am very intentional about not doing things just for money, but I really needed the money, and this was something I could benefit for. So I agreed to do it. It turned out to be really good. That was in 2023. I did like 2 workshops for this company. And then in 2024, they contracted me to do several workshops throughout the year. I did 3 workshops for them in January, but they were super late paying me, and then I had bills that I had to pay from like December, so I was behind on a lot of things. So once I did the workshop and that money came through, I still had so much stuff to take care of that there wasn't a lot of money left. So this is where the miracle came into play. I had decided that I was going to do a workshop on Valentine's Day weekend, and I put tickets up for this particular workshop, and I was only going to do 10 tickets because I wanted it to be an intimate thing, and I was going to do it in my home and work with people to talk about manifestation and healing and all the things that I love to talk about. Out of the 10 tickets, 2 tickets sold, and the 2 tickets that sold were people that I knew. Now, I was very grateful for the fact that 2 tickets sold. It wasn't about, ooh, I only sold 2 tickets, now what? I was very excited and happy about the tickets that sold. But at the same time, I heard God tell me, cancel the workshop. And I was like, you gave me the idea for this workshop. You told me to have it. I've sold 2 tickets. There's still time to sell tickets, but now you're telling me to cancel it. I try to listen. I told y'all before, I try really hard to be obedient. So I was obedient, and I was not initially. I wasn't obedient initially because I was like, this doesn't make sense. I don't want to cancel it. Well, one of the attendees, who was a friend of mine, she texted me and said, hey, is your workshop still on for this weekend? And I was like, oh, that's very interesting that you text me and asked me that question, because I was just sitting here thinking about canceling it because I got like a message from God that I should cancel it. And she was like, well, just let me know what you decide to do. And I was like, okay. So I sat with it for a little while, and I was like, no, I should cancel this. So I decided to cancel it. I refunded the 2 people that paid to come to the workshop. And then I was like, well, now what? What do you want me to do now? This is why it is imperative, in my opinion, to listen to God, Spirit, infinite intelligence, source, energy, whatever you want to call it, to be obedient, and to trust, have faith. I canceled the workshop, and then 2 days later, one of my friends texted me and said, hey, do you want to go to Morocco this weekend? I was like, what? What are you talking about? She was like, yeah, I got to take a business trip, and I would love for you to accompany me. Because it's a business trip, all expenses paid. Like, you just have to just show up. And I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, what? So I literally manifested a trip to Morocco, all expenses paid, with $5.70 in my bank account. I am actually filming right now from Morocco. We flew into Casablanca, and then we took the train from Casablanca to Marrakech, and we're here in Marrakech for the weekend, and then we're flying back on Monday. And I am still blown away. I cannot believe that I am in Morocco, of no doing of my own, except the fact that I was obedient. And I am just having the most amazing time. And literally yesterday, when I was preparing for my flight, getting my clothes and things ready, I just busted out crying. But they were tears of joy, because I just was so grateful and so thankful and amazed at the fact that the same energy that it took for me to go through that semi-depressive state that I talked about in my last video, to be so full with the blessings that I have received, it was overwhelming, and I just cried and cried and cried, just tears of joy, because I was so grateful. I hope that if nothing else, that you take away from this video, like, the work works. Everything is always working out for you. Everything is always working out for your greater good. All is well, always and always, even when we don't see it as so. When you really go with the flow, you go with ease, and you just chill out. Like, things are going to happen for you. But you got to learn to trust. And I know it's not easy, especially in the world that we live in now with everything that's going on. But we're not the provider of the things that we receive. Our main job is to add value. And I added value on an everyday basis, whether it's being a strong friend, listening to my friends when they have issues that come up, supporting them, boosting up their morale, whether it's saying a kind word to people on the street. I try to compliment people. Like, if I can, every person that I come in contact with, I try to compliment them, because that's just adding value to their life. You never know if someone is having a bad day, and your simple compliment or words of encouragement can help to completely lift their day and shift their energy. So adding value doesn't always mean doing something great. You could be a mother, and you could be adding value by making sure that your kids are taken care of, and making sure that you're preparing your kids to be ready for this world. You could be a janitor and you could be adding value by making sure things are clean, because nobody can clean the way that you can clean. It does not matter what it is that you do to add value. It's just that we all are here to serve others and to give in some way. And when you figure out what that way is, and you do it with joy, and you do it not expecting anything in return, then that's when the miracles happen. This stuff works. Manifestation works. I've been practicing these things for almost 25 years, and I don't tell the stories enough of how these miraculous things happen for me. And so my girlfriend who invited me to come, she was like, yeah, you have to tell this story, because even for her, everything aligned for her. And she had all these meetings, and her meetings and her events got canceled for her to be able to ask me to come. And she said, you're the only person that lives a life so free that you could just drop everything and come and go with me. And so, of course, I am so grateful to her. We add value to each other's lives, and she's just happy that I could be here with her, and I'm just happy that we get to share this time together. So, no matter what you're going through right now, please know that it's temporary and there is some joy on the other side of it. Look forward to seeing you in the next video.